friends, Kelly here. Welcome back to my channel. I am going to do a little bit of a project share with you today. I have been working on these little junk journals, and it was inspired by Meg Journals, Meg from Meg Journals. I think I'm getting that right. And it's from the January junk journal prompts. So junk journal January. So I have the prompts in a teeny tiny version here. I'm not really doing the prompts, but in case I get stumped, I have been referring to this. But I was so inspired by watching her videos that I decided I would give it a try and put together a little junk journal kit, as it were. So I thought I would share with you how much I've done so far. This isn't really going to be something I share probably regularly, but I've been working on it and I thought, you know, I'll just do a quick little project share. So let me show you kind of my supplies that I've been working through, and then I'll give you a quick flip through on my two little books here and talk about how I put them together. So what I have, hopefully I'm in shot because I'm working in a remote location, but I have this box. This is just I think it's 12 by 12. It's got like a little plate on the thing here, and it has a lid, but my oldest daughter, who's sitting right over there giggling at me as I talk to myself, she is using the lid as a little carrying tray for a project she's currently working on. Okay, so in this box is just everything goes in here. So I can put all of my bins and my books, and I can put the lid on, and then I can just set it away until I want to work on it. So when I'm ready to work on it, I just take everything out and I'm good to go. Actually, we'll leave that in there. I'll talk through what's in here. I'll do that real quick. So this is just a random collection of papers. Now, I'm not a junk journaler in the sense of, like, I don't even know, like an authentic junk journaler where they literally have junk. I'm more of the pre-made embellishments, Tim Holtz, not really found object junk journaling. You guys know if you've been around my channel. If you're not and you're new, welcome. And I would check out the junk journal playlist if you're interested in junk journaling. But this is, I think, more what a true junk journaler does, I think. I don't really know. I guess I'm probably offending somebody that says, I am a true junk journaler, and they do projects like mine. You get the gist. Okay, so I have a collection of papers, just random things, so I'll just do a quick run through. This is tracing paper. I printed some stuff on vellum, so I've been using that. This is actually the free printable that came from Get Messy and Meg for the junk journal. There's a couple pages in here. And these were actually something that Meg pointed to in one of her videos, so I'll try to go back and find where I got these. They were a free images that you could do whatever you wanted to with, I guess. Random book pages, and then some scrapbook paper. This is a really pretty piece. I like the cutter parts. This was part of that free printable, as is this. Again, here's some, I guess, tracing paper, envelope. I have no idea what this is from. Scrapbook paper, some old printables, scrapbook paper. I think you're getting the gist here. Let me see if there's anything else worth noting in the bottom. Tip that up here. Okay, scrapbook paper. Like, this is it's really pretty, but I don't know when I would use it. But this is a journal where I can incorporate color and have fun with that. This is one of my absolute favorite papers, but I never know what to do with it because the scale of the lemons is huge, as is this. This is super pretty too. I just really want a chair in this upholstery. Again, some more cut aparts. This is a Maggie Holmes. This is a printable paper, digital paper I printed. Again, Maggie Holmes. So those are the papers I have in the box that I can draw from. Those are the larger pieces. And then these are just some letter stamps. They're these little wooden, sorry, that was loud, wooden stamps that I use occasionally, and this is a great project for it. And moving on to this bin here is really just a true random assortment of bits. And I mean junk. I guess it's junk. If I do a quick peek through here, I've got some lace and some fabric, torn bits of paper, random ephemera that I just don't know when I would ever use in any other project. torn pieces of book page, bits of tracing paper. These are some of those plus minus washi and pet tapes, PET tapes. I don't really know how to say that, but I keep those in there. I like to keep those at the top. Scrap of lace. So yeah, real junk, I guess. If there's anything else, doily, homemade paper, and then this guy, actually don't want him in there. Some other little pieces here. I'm trying to see if there's anything worth really calling out here. Oh, here, this is the backing of, I think actually one of these, the washi style. I kept that because it's got a, this side is glossy and waxy, but this side is not. So I'm curious, could you stamp on it? Frayed fabric bits. And then just the really, really weird random things that I don't know how to ever incorporate into a project, like this piece here. Here's a sample of some test thing I did on tissue paper. Here's an offcut of something that I probably would never put in a collage. And then some of these things are bits from one of my collage boxes. So I thought, well, this is a good spot to put those all. So yeah, that's pretty much what's in here. Super random things. Like this is definitely vintage. I got it in a ephemera pack years ago. I think it's Italian because, yeah, it says printed in Italy. So that's cool. I'll probably use that for something. And I love that you could just throw, whoops, what did I lose? Oh, lost a bit of paper. Yeah, but I could throw whatever I want in here and it might get used. Who knows? Like here's a piece of thicker, heavier craft cardstock that I embossed and did some gold embossing powder in on some other project. This is actually a piece of Amazon packaging, and I use this to make one of my books, so I'll share that in a moment here. Okay, so that's kind of just odds and ends paper bits. This is more of things like this little bird, like embellishments that I can use. So it's going to be not quite scrap paper, but more things that would be a focal point. So I have all kinds of things in here, some acetate and some vellum, just random things, some tabs and tags and some colorful things that I just really like looking at, but I have no idea what I would ever use. That's the beauty of this project, is I can throw a weird, whatever that is, or that, into the project. This, again, I have actually printed out the July 2023 junk journal and the January. So I have those. These are, I haven't shown you guys this, but I have this little printer. It's called the Life Print, and it's that thermal paper, but these are stickers. I just happen to have it on my desk and thought, well, I'll just try using that. So I keep those. And then in here, I use glue stick mostly for this. Sometimes I will use my tape. And most of the time I'm working on this project at my craft desk, so I have all my other supplies handy. And then I threw in these two watercolor crayons. This is Blush Blossom, and this is Chocolate Chip. These are old Stampin' Up! Watercolor crayons that I've had forever, and so I like to try. I'm experimenting a lot in this, like some scribbling and things like that. And then some of my favorite washi tapes that are very, I would consider kind of neutral, but definitely the softer feminine colors that I really kind of like. So that's what's in my kit. Sorry for the squeaking. I'm sitting at a super old antique kind of rickety table. I'm in a historic, really old log cabin up in the North Woods of Wisconsin on a little crafty retreat weekend with my oldest daughter, Gwen. So, and I probably will talk about that, or have talked about that in a different video, because I'm doing a lot of filming this weekend. Okay, here are the books I made. So I made this one first. This is just brown paper, like almost tissue, not tissue paper, but like brown packaging. And then I put pattern paper on the inside. Unfortunately, when I started working in the book, I did it upside down. So this now, the flower pattern runs down instead of up. But I have decided I don't care. So on the front, I just put this piece of vellum. It's actually not really adhered very well. Little washi tape stapled, and this vellum flower that I printed. Love these so much. This book has been fun to work with vellum. So, and then how I constructed this is I just made the signature first, and then I'm going through and kind of working through it. It felt very similar to Janie's journal, doing that. So I'm really loving this project. So every page is different, no rhyme or reason. I'm just putting stuff down and enjoying the process. So experimenting with those watercolor crayons and scribbling and some white pen mark making, and just trying things out, some stenciling and layering and pops of color. Here I have a page that has a tuck spot, a vellum piece here, and here's like a piece of transparent, this butterfly blue, like pops of blue and color, and just really having fun playing. And then I made this tag with this big house. When I'm ever going to use that, I don't know. And then I actually did a little kind of journaling. I wrote a quote. It says, "The ache for home lives in us, the safe place where we can go as we are, not to be, and not be questioned." Maya Angelou. Angelou? I always say that wrong. So yeah, I just had fun making a tag. Some pages are still blank. Some are not. Like I said, I'm really playing a lot with this vellum. I love it. I love this look. And just kind of having fun with scraps and bits of this and that. Here is a fun page where I played around with this vellum, and I did a little coffee staining, and then I stapled it on to create a pocket, and then I just put one of my tags I had made previously. It was sitting on my desk, and I just decided I liked the way that looked right behind it, so I'm just tucking that in. Not much special on this page. I shouldn't say it that way. I didn't do a lot of anything. I just glued down some paper, truthfully, but it's just pretty. I just like it. Here's a page I just did, a little stamping and just scraps of paper. And this was a fun one. Used some of those little prints that I made and scraps, stamping, and then this is that stamp. What?
That was really loud.
What was loud?
This.
Oh, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're fine.
I also lost one of my little clippies.
Well, I'm sure you'll find it. So this is the stamp, that little wooden block stamp I was talking about. And let's see if I did any other pages in here. I don't know that I did. But as you can see, it's kind of an assortment of papers. So I'll go from the back front because then there's nothing really distracting. So this is some old scrapbook paper, magazine page, vellum, sheet music, and these are actually the authentic piece of vintage newspaper and vintage sheet music. This is a piece of plain ledger paper. This, I actually just got a whole pad of it from Walmart. So that was pretty exciting score. Part of a map from, I think, when we went to the Grand Canyon. And I don't know that I have really any tip-ins yet. Where'd the brown paper go? Did I miss that? Map. Went to the center. What happened? Did I miss something? What's going on here? Is that a tip-in? Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah. No, here's what I did. I took this brown paper and that's why this page, the vellum, was originally in the signature, and I added the brown paper and stapled it on, apparently. Then I must have done this page because the staples are covered. Yeah, that's how that worked. Okay. So then to close it, I just keep a paper clip on it. This one, after I made that one, I was like, okay, I want to make a second one. And this one I got a little more adventurous. I used Amazon packaging, so there's like, it's puffy kind of. And I had a little more fun with distressing and covering it and embellishing it. So because it's this material here. You see how there's that white kind of puffy in between? So once I cut it open, it was open. So I had to close all the edges. So that's why I used paper and washi tape. Put a Tim Holtz Photomatic, I think is what it is. No, that's not that. Snapshots? No, whatever this one is, the smaller ones. And then just layered up some fun stuff and did a little stamping. And then the back used some washi tapes and some of that vellum, and this really fun. This is a big, wide, colorful washi tape that looks kind of like watercoloring, but it's real bright and vivid. That is from Illustrated Faith. I don't think they have it any longer. Then I covered the inside with just a digital print that I had lying around. Then this book, I did a little bit more with pages and changing sizes. So I have this tiny little one that I've just embellished. This is actually a little cut apart from a scrapbooking paper that my daughter Gwen, when she was really little, colored all over and scribbled on, and I kept it for whatever reason in my scraps. And so now I have that, and I actually have that kind of cute little memory of her doing that. Wasn't very cute at the time. She's looking at me like, why are you talking about me? This was a coloring page from one of those big coloring books, and it actually was this side that I had originally colored, and I popped it in there and I trimmed it down, and then now I've just kind of, every once in a while when I feel like just coloring, I've come in and I've just done a little coloring. So that's been fun. Old book page. This is a card from my grandparents when we bought our house. So I covered up the other side. This is the back side, and it has this little house image, but I covered it up. But if I can go back to this. So this is my grandmother's writing, and I'm not sure how I'm going to cover that. Actually, this might not get covered. This might actually have a vellum overlay that I might staple at the top that I can lift up so that I don't actually cover that with anything, but I have something over it. I think that's what I'm going to do. This side I did a pocket, and I did a fun little library card. Isn't she cute? This page I took this scrap and this piece of book and kind of melded them together. So you can see that more on this side. So it kind of cuts this way, and then yeah, this page goes here. So just washi tape. This was a scrap I had when I was testing out some watercolor markers, brown paper. This is a page out of some random book that I destroyed, but it does have a quote, and it's watercolor. It says, "An awake heart is like a sky that pours light." Sure. I'm not really much for that kind of stuff, but I liked this color, and I thought if I covered it with something, at least you might see the color. And then keep going through. This is the other side of that watercolor page, and this is the other side of that other kind of patchwork page. So here I used a little bit of book page. I just really kind of thought that was fun. It was a good starter page. Here's the other part of that card, and it's kind of shiny, glossy, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna. Ooh, we have a real wood burning fireplace, and every once in a while it reminds us that it's there. A little pop, a little fizz, and it makes my daughter jump. Book page, the other part of that coloring page, some more map, and then the back. So that is my fun junk journal. I just keep it closed with this clip. So I thought I would share it with you guys. I would do a page with you, but honestly, it takes me so long to do one because this is really about practice, to not overthink and to just do. So that's really why I wanted to do this, is not to really have the prompts or anything, but if I get stuck, I like them. But it's really to just not be debilitated by a blank page, and to not overthink it. So like the other day I decided I needed to craft, I needed to glue paper to paper, and I wanted to do something, but I didn't want to sit down and work on a project. So I grabbed my book, opened up my box, and made this, and that's it. Now I can come back and I can do something else on this if I really want to, or I could leave it. It's totally up to me, and I love that. So that's what this is. It's just a practice book to just get creative and get the juices flowing. So this has kind of become a new fun little activity for me when I don't have a lot of time, or I just want to experiment or try something out. This is a great place to do that. So like this gave me my grungy feels for the day. And then, you know, like I said, I might come in and just color. I got some new Tombow brush markers, and so I might test them out on here. I wanted to pop a color. So yeah, so I'm loving this. If you need something to kickstart your creativity and give yourself a jumping off point, or just like an exercise book of some sort, I know collaging is great for doing that. Like people have glue books and do stuff in that. I think that's collaging. I don't really know. This is my version. So I thought I would just pop on, share that with you guys. Hopefully you have found something inspiring in this. Maybe it's spark some curiosity. I'll make sure to leave links for you to give you some ideas of where I started getting my inspiration from. And I hope you give it a try if this is interesting to you. If you do, drop a comment, let me know. All right, friends, I'll see you next time. Bye.